One eternity later.
Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel and to this side project that's turning out to be longer than the project that I'm working on, but we're not going to talk about that right now. None of this is glued in place, but this is my working idea for my book cover. Yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with things. I'd had this idea for this book actually for a while. And I did this kind of paint up mock-up of this, what I might use in this area, but I didn't really like how that turned out. It's okay, just not for this book cover. It would be okay in a different kind of book cover. It's getting a little marked up now too from sitting on my desk. So it was cleaner. It's getting a little marked up. So I decided to go to my embroidery machine and have this, get it to embroider something out for me. And this is what I came up with. So, yeah. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think I like the colors. I think I like the font and everything. So I've just been playing around with placement. I have a square hole here I'm trying to fill. So I just kind of ripped out a piece of fabric that would kind of fill that and act as kind of a backdrop. This may or may not get glued down. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't looked at this in the daytime yet. I want to see how these colors work together. Oh, I also originally had silver corners put here, but it was too monotone. It was too gray and gray and gray. So I pulled out these kind of rose gold ones, and I really like how that looks. So I may go with these rose gold ones. So, and then of course I got my book corners. Those aren't on yet either, because we're not quite ready for that step yet. And I don't like to put this stuff on until I've got everything pretty much settled as to where everything is glued in and all that, because I don't want anything bad to happen to this stuff. Have it knocked over or whatever while I'm moving around the bookcase. I did make a tassel. I don't know how I feel about it. I have a lot of feelings. It's a little cutesy for me. I don't know how I feel about it. You tell me what you think. But it's a little darling. And that's not really my style. Especially with the lace. Like, some lace is okay, but it's starting to get a little cutesy and darling, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm mixed. I mean, these fabrics are all fabrics and trims and laces that were all used in the book somewhere. Oh, one more thing I added. When we were gluing all of this together last time, I forgot a ribbon. So after I turned off the camera and while the glue was still pliable, I kind of went in here and pried this open a little bit with my awl and then stuck a ribbon down in there and glued it in. So I have a bookmark. It's just a nice little touch, something I like to add into my books. So, that's the only thing you missed. Everything else, like I said, I've just been playing around with ideas. But I think I'm ready to glue this signature in. I'm feeling good about it. I like where we're at. I like the working idea I have for the cover. I think that's pretty well settled. So now I'm just going to work on getting the signature glued in. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure, because a book is a three-dimensional object, so I need to make sure that my pages are lined up evenly this way and this way, because they can get, this one fits in here pretty well, but they can get like askew, and you don't want to glue it in like that. Oh, did I not glue that in? Oh, I didn't glue that in yet. Oh, because I hadn't decided. That's right. Remember we were talking about whether I was going to do anything more to this or glue anything here. I don't think so. I think I'm good with this. Isn't that funny? I thought I'd glued this down. All right, so before I get on that, let's glue this down together. And that'll be the perfect height to kind of get that covered up. And then this will be just a nice kind of uniform thing. So all of the structure ends up getting covered up. I'm going to use this because, again, the spine is not flexible already, and I've been using this glue all along on the spine, so I'm just going to continue to use this glue here for this last layer. This is a rigid spine. Pros and cons of a rigid spine: it's strong and it can hold a lot of material. The cons are you don't have a lot of flexibility, literally and figuratively. Like, you can't squeeze that one last thing in. Like, when your book's full, it's just full. And that's all there is to it. Then you have to, at some point, start pulling things out if it gets overly full. Where if you have a softer, more flexible spine, you can, squeeze that one last thing in. Okay. Kind of eye it up, get it as even as I can, and then I'm just going to burnish it down as best I can and get it to. And again, the really great part about this glue is it's cold to the touch. You can feel it through your material. It's cold to the touch while it's wet, and then as it cures, it slowly starts to get up to room temperature. So you can kind of tell when it's dry. And I'm definitely not going to add anything else to this. I've already got that tassel on the back. I've already got all this lace. It's pretty precious at this point. I don't want to add to that preciousness. Okay, so I'm going to fit this in here. And again, I want to make sure that it's even this way and that it's even this way. So these end bands really kind of help with that. I'm kind of eyeballing it, and I'm going to close this up and then kind of look and see, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball and see how much room do I have top and bottom. And I want it to be pretty even. That looks pretty even. Now I'm going to make sure that this is hugged up against the spine, and then it looks pretty good left to right, that it's pretty even. So this gap in between the signatures should be right in the center, and everything should be laying down well. If it's not, you can get in there with, a skewer or your awl or something and just kind of move things around. By that, I mean I would take my heavy duty awl and I would just kind of use it to scoot this to one side or another to kind of make it nice and straight and get it to adjust. But this is fitting in here pretty good. It's not giving me too much trouble, I don't think, so I think we're in pretty good shape. All right. See, I shouldn't have put that on just yet. Got a rough deal. So now we're going to glue it down. And again, you can use any glue you want. I think, again, I'm going to use I'm going to use this glue. I have it out. It'll work. But you could use PVA. I'm going to bring this up, back into place, and I'm going to bring this around, kind of get that hinge into place. I'm going to ease it up. If I was using PVA, I would be a little more careful and I'd slip something in there between the pages, but this I can get off of here if I need to. All right, I'm going to smooth it down little glue oozes out. Clean that up right away. All right. That's pretty good. Now we'll do the other side. So I'm just going to flip and do exactly what I did on the front cover. I get earworms a lot. Do you get earworms a lot? I get earworms a lot. Today's earworm is the theme song from To Sir With Love. One with Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn. You ever see that movie? Do you remember that movie? Spencer Tracy. What's her name? The actress that played Isabel Sanford is in it. It's like an all-star cast. I watched it recently with a friend of mine. Shout out to Lucas. He's my movie buddy. It's going to make it really good and smoothing everything else out. I'm not going to furnish anything more shiny. All right. I'm doing it with the book kind of open and up like this, so I can really get into there into that hinge. If it's wide open, it's going to bubble up too much. So I really need it to be kind of semi-closed like that, so it doesn't bubble up too much while it's closed. It'll have enough flexibility to open all the way, but you want it to kind of, I'll hold these so that they don't move on me, but you want it to kind of open up underneath when it opens up. You don't want it to have that flexibility down here. So now I gotta re-burnish that. All right. Just gonna give that a minute to kind of set up a little bit. All right, that side looks good. That side looks pretty good. All right. Our book is in our case. We're not done yet. And I'm leaving these strings long. I'm leaving these strings long just for the look. You could trim those off if you wanted to. I might cut some of them because they're a little obnoxiously long, but then again, I kind of like obnoxious sometimes. So any of this fraying, any of this coming loose, right? That's part of the look of the book. So I'm letting it go. Same thing with this. I've got frayed fabric. I'm not afraid of it. Ha 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 ha.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, I'll quit. All right. Gonna let that set up for a little bit. Next thing we're gonna work on is end papers. And I haven't really decided what I want to do for end papers yet. Do I want to just do decorative papers, which is most of the time what I do? Do I want to do decorative papers? Do I want to do fabric? Do I want to do cool, funky old paper? Do I want to paint something or make something? Or, I don't know. So that's our next thing. I've got a lot of designer paper like this. It's Italian paper and it's getting all dented up. I don't have it stored properly right now. But I've got that one. I've got this one. I've been sitting on this scrap for a long time. That might be a little too something. A little too Renaissance for this book.
1 hour later.
This is the roll of papers that other roll of papers came from. Okay. Well, this is my roll of paper. I just spent a whole bunch of time trying to organize them so that they would be easy to see without my having to unfurl them, and I just had to unfurl them to do this. But this is my roll of paper. That's where those other two should go. So I'm going to add them to this roll when we're done here talking about it. But these are the decorative papers. So these are, I got these from Hollanders in Ann Arbor, and these are, and I am not affiliated with Hollanders, but man, if Hollanders ever wanted to, you know, hire me to showcase some of their products, I would be more than happy to. But these are some of the papers that I've purchased at Hollanders over the years. This is all I have left. Right, I've used this before. It's upside down. I think all of these are upside down. So, I sure organized them and didn't realize I was organizing them upside down. Alright, let's try that again. My scroll of doom here. Let's get the book out of the way. This is letting that glue set up, so it needs a minute anyway. Okay, so there's this one. It's really pretty. It's this navy blue, maybe kind of a cobalt blue with gold leafing on it. It's really lovely, but I don't think it's right for this book. I've used this for other books. I don't think it's right for this book, so I'm going to set that aside. What else do we have? I've got these roses. I used this one on my Alice in Wonderland book. I really liked it. I thought it was appropriate, right? These huge scale flowers for an Alice in Wonderland book. This wouldn't be bad for this book. We also have birds. So this is kind of a Japanese style print with the swirling kind of, I don't know, waves. So it's almost like birds flying over water. That's what it makes me think of. Gigantic mushrooms. When I bought this paper, for some reason, I thought these mushrooms were going to be smaller and I would be able to collage them into my books. But they are huge. So it's a big poster. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So it's just kind of living in my collection for right now. Getting a little banged up, unfortunately. There's dresses. But I don't know if fashion is the right message. I also have these kind of swinging 60s chicks. Like late 60s, maybe early 70s. That's not a bad thought. Again, it's more fashion than anything else. But I don't know, that's not a bad idea. What do you think of that? And I've got this one. This is it's old Italian design. Isn't that lovely? Kind of fancy this. Kind of feel like this and this kind of makes sense together. I don't know, maybe not the colors. I don't know. Well, maybe the colors. Then I have a print of an old map. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because now I have actual old maps that I use. And then there are poppies, which I thought I was going to use for my, oh, I know I have a Wizard of Oz book that I'm going to be doing eventually, and I may use this for that. But it's a big piece, like I could use some of it for this. I just don't know if the red works. I don't know. So I'm kind of back and forth. I'm kind of feeling this Italian paper for the end sheets. Kind of feeling it.